Hey traders, this is Jeff from ZenTrader.ca. I've got 5 charts here, and only 5 charts, so I want to spend some time on these. So let's just get right into it. I'm very bearish. I've been bearish. I've been bearish since back here, where when my long-term timing signal went short. Some of you will remember that, like those of you who really watch these videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. When my timing signal went short here, I talked a lot about oftentimes you'll get a retest, and generally it happens, within a couple of weeks after. And here it went down, and it didn't quite make it all the way back up there, and it came. The market sold off quite hard in November, and then we've had this rally. And what's interesting is I just looked at this tonight, and I just realized that we actually did have that back test. It took nearly 2 months to have this back test, but we got it, and we basically have sold off 6 out of the last 7 sessions once that retest took place. This is just a simple daily chart. Down here, these are just the Keltner charts for the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P, and basically what I found interesting is out of this entire rally up here, we were never really able to close over the upper Keltner channel. One time did we? One time doesn't count. You really need to have at least 2 out of the 3 closing above it. This is right at it, and it didn't last. All 3 are ideal because that really shows the strength across the board. And basically, the upper Keltner channel just proved to be very significant resistance, and we've come down, and we're not even at the bottom Keltner channel. We're not even oversold by any stretch, really. That's the real scary part. The 3-line break on the NASDAQ went negative again today. The McClellan oscillator behind is starting to accelerate. Let's see here. The Dow, you can see here we've come down basically straight down from the upper Bollinger Band all the way down to the bottom. If there wasn't big news on Sunday night, then we're in a spot where the markets might likely bounce anyhow. So we may get a bounce, but I view the action on the indexes. I really think that there are 2 scenarios that are at play here. I think we're either going to go straight down and maybe retest these lows, or we're going to go up and then down. There's nothing about the charts I like right now on my proprietary charts. Everything is screaming bearish to me, and what's pretty awesome, at least from a sentiment point of view, is I don't really see a lot of people that are that bearish right now. I mean, I know this week there were quite a few people that were getting long. I was watching on Twitter. A lot of people, the sentiment seemed pretty bullish, even though we were down every single day this week. So I think either scenario has these markets lower weeks from now. Even if I don't even think we're going to get a bounce, to be honest with you. In fact, I mean, I'm not going to throw out. I'm not going to say the markets are going to crash or anything, or we're not going to have any significant down days. But it's at these kind of levels, like basically failed. We couldn't. A lower high here. It's at these kind of levels that the selling and the acceleration really start to pick up, much like they did here. So it would not surprise me at all if we saw some sort of really significant selling hit the markets next week. The VIX, you can see fear. This is one ingredient that we have to have that, really good sell-off. And when I say good, I mean if you're bearish, it's good. If you're long, it's not good. But these corrections are necessary. And it's important not to view them as being negative. I mean, it is what it is. Markets go up, markets go down. And then the last chart is just of the TSX. This has been the most stubborn of the indexes that I follow. It looks like it's starting to break down from this rising bearish wedge, but it's really taking its time. I'm short this via EWC, and I'll continue to be so because I think any weakness in the U.S. markets are definitely going to spill over into the Canadian markets. You have a good weekend, guys.